Derrick Johnson, president of the NAACP. Mr. Johnson, good morning to you. It's great to have you. So first, I'd like to get your reaction to that news overnight that the Memphis Police Department will permanently disband the so-called Scorpion unit involved in Nichols' death. Is that the right move here?
Well, good morning. The audio is coming through very choppy. I just want to say it is time for us to have police reform. After George Floyd case, there was a federal call to do something. The House of Representatives actually passed legislation that would have addressed much of what we are seeing taking place in Memphis. The Senate failed to do their job. The president actually signed an executive order, but executive orders cannot reach local police agencies. And unfortunately, because of Congress unable to do their job, we're seeing yet another incident of a young man being killed as a result of police misconduct.
So I want to talk more about that, because a number of cities have seen an increase in crime. Many people in those communities have called for a stronger police presence. So when it comes to protecting public safety and our individual rights, how do you strike that balance?
Well, you see an increase in crime at the exact same time that we've had no police reform, we've had no new training, we've not established a federal database of police misconduct so officers won't move from one agency to the next. There's no credentialing, and so we have to do something differently. Even this unit, this special tactical unit, was put in place to slow down crime. It has not slowed down crime. In law school, they had this saying that in England, that pickpocketing was so bad that they wanted to stop it by public hangings. And when they gathered for the public hangings, they only increased the number of pickpocketers because you have people in the same place where you can pick the pockets. Getting tough on crime oftentimes is being smarter on crime, and we have yet to get smart on crime.
You mentioned police reform. I just want to go back to this because President Biden did sign an executive order on police reform last year. It was supposed to, among other things, increase accountability, ban chokeholds, restrict those no-knock entries, and so on. But you say that you've been calling for these national standards. So where have those changes fallen short?
Well, the extent of an executive order from the administration is only for federal law enforcement agencies. It is not for local agencies. In order for us to impact local agencies, Congress must enact legislation. And that's what's really important. What the administration can do is put more requirements around the funding of these police agencies. Many agencies depend on federal fundings through the Department of Justice. So we're going to call on the Department of Justice to put heightened scrutinies on reporting, on the credentials, so we can try to bring more agencies in line. And more importantly, we lack a big question here around mental health and de-escalation. Agencies must be trained around the art of de-escalating, but also we need to beef up the funding for mental health support.
While I have you, one last question. We just have time for this here. The Memphis Police Department, they moved quickly to fire those police officers involved, charged soon after. Then the video was released. Should this be a model for law enforcement agencies when it comes to transparency going forward?
I commend the Memphis Police Department, the district attorney, and the city administration. They acted swiftly. They acted with a level of clarity. They made sure that there was transparency. That's important. It should be a standard. It did not take a year or 9 months or however long to release the video. That's important. I think that is why the harm in that community was de-escalated, because some of the things that was done appropriately. We want to see this done not when it's just black officers. We want to see it done when it's white officers committing offense in the black community. This should be a universal standard of transparency to ensure the necessary justice is being handled for the families of these victims.
Derrick Johnson, thank you for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.